Hello, 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 and welcome to the Orisha Trauma Tarot. Yep, we here with the Orisha Trauma Tarot. Absolutely. All right, y'all. So y'all know what it is. Y'all know I get straight to the point. I want to get straight to the pats of keys of the Orisha Tarot. Now today is January 13th. This is going to last until January 20th. So when we doing the Orisha Trauma Tarot, we only do it once a week. We only do it once a week. But I'm going to bring it to you at nighttime for the next couple of weeks. My goal was to bring it to you at 10:10, but life be happening, y'all. Life be happening, y'all. So when the life get to happening, y'all, we won't bother with it. We won't bother with it. We won't bother. We let life do what it's going to do. All right. So before we get going too much, y'all. Before we get going too much, we got the Florida water. You know, we got the Florida water. All right, now that we got the Florida water, we're going to have to bring in our Dragon's Blood Sage. We always got to bring in the Dragon's Blood Sage. So what is Dragon's Blood Sage? All right, let me turn this down a little bit because I don't want it to be too loud. But what is Dragon's Blood Sage? Well, it is white sage and dragon's blood resin. Dragon's blood resin is a very, very, very strong healing and protective tool. Oh, setting the blanket on fire, y'all. Oh, oh, oh. Set the blanket on fire, y'all. All the way down to the pants, y'all. All right. You gotta be careful when you burning sage. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. And also the way you light it, what you lighting it over, ashes. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. I should have just brought my torch out. This dragon's blood, like you know better. All right, we're gonna clear the deck. As you can see at the bottom, we're gonna see if it comes back out. We're gonna see if it comes back out. But that's what was at the bottom of the deck, y'all. We're gonna see what comes out for the collective. So let's clear all hands of negative energy. We're gonna like this a little bit more because I want a little bit more to be just burning in the aroma for the collective. All right, ancestors, healing guides. Orisha, can you tell us? Tell us a little bit about what we got going on here for the collective. I got my singing bowls. Tell me what we got going on for the collective. Ancestors, Orisha, spirit guides, healing guides. Tell us a little bit about what's up with the collective for Trauma Tarot Thursday. Tell us a little bit. Tell us the pets of keys we need to have. Give us the pets of keys we need to have for Trauma Tarot Thursday. Give us the pets of keys we need to have for Trauma Tarot Thursday. Tell us the messages. What are our messages that we need to have for Trauma Tarot Thursday? Because don't be yelling at me all at once. You see them? They be throwing cards at me. They be throwing cards at me. All right, we got that Ten of Swords reversed. Throwing cards at me. Why they be throwing cards at me? We got the Queen of Swords. How many cards we gonna get today? On the 13th, we got we're going to put them in order. The 10 of Cups, the 7 of Cups. How many cards y'all going to give me today? On the 13th. The Page of Cups. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. Started yelling at me. The 5 of Wands. Okay. Alright, I'll take all messages. Are there any final messages here? Are there any final messages here? Any final messages here? Did I miss any messages? What's the overall? They said no. That's the final message. The Knight of Discs. Okay. What's the overall message? What's the one thing they need to take away from this? What's the one thing they need to take away from this? The Two of Swords are reversed. All right, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Look, let's talk about it. Oh, I am just on here to mind my business. For the record, I am just here to mind my business. So what I'm going to do is read to you what it says. Now, you can take what resonates and roll with it. But what you're not going to do is come for me, because all I'm doing is reading to you what the Pataki is about. Okay, with that Pataki. Here's the book. All I'm doing is reading what it's about. All right. This card is possibly the worst in the deck. It is a card of ruin, betrayal, and things which we cannot recover from. The only good thing with this card is that after losing everything, you have nothing left to lose. Whether you have the power to regain anything remains to be seen. The Orisha traditions in the diaspora exist because of the Atlantic slave trade. The people who introduced the Orisha to the Caribbean and Americas were brought by force. Whatever lives they had prior were gone, and many of these people did not survive the trip to even have the hope of starting again. The legacy of these events continues to play out out in the news on a regular basis. The cost of colonialism to people of color and indigenous peoples is beyond counting, robbing them of their history, their lives, and the present and future they might have had. So what's happening? It gets. So let me tell you, this card is that of deep betrayal. A deep betrayal is happening that might cost the person everything. Though the common imagery of this card shows a figure that has been stabbed in the back, people usually know their enemy. Sometimes this is a part of themselves that cannot help but ruin things. Other times it is a person whose bad behavior is excused until it's too late. The ruin experience is never a random occurrence. That energy is found in the tower. Tragedy, loss of everything through betrayal, obstacles brought about by a person's life by the legacy of colonialism, violence and death, accidents, or fighting. So, solutions: do not get into a physical fight, watch your back, do not give people a second chance, and do not let your vices ruin your life. Now, because this is in reverse all of that. That's all I got. So because it's in reverse all of that. I'm not telling you to go out here and fight, but what I'm telling you here is the ruin is going to turn itself around. So the Queen of Swords. So you out here making some decisions. Again, I'm minding my business. I'm just going to read what it says. I'm going to read what it says. Don't fight the messenger. I just went ahead and gave you the message. The Queen of Swords is a fierce defender of truth and community. They are confident, knowledgeable, and unabashed in taking control when things need leadership. So much so that Crowley depicted them holding the head of the king. Today, there is a great rush from people looking to be initiated as priests. Though certainly people need help, many of these seekers are looking for power and status. My elders say that many of the simpler ways of solving problems are being lost is because it's more profitable to initiate someone than it is to give them a necklace or a bath. Often, people who spent a lifetime working the religion but never felt the need to become priests hold as much knowledge as some of the people acting as priests. The word amuka, I can't even get these words together, y'all. It's Omokalagb. So amokalagba, forgive me, could be translated as those owned by time. My elders refer to them as the knowledgeable gray hairs. Often, they are the first person to correct people if they are doing things wrong or to just step in and do what needs to be done themselves. So I ain't hold it up. Hold on, let me show y'all this queen of this. Here she is, Queen of Swords, y'all. So sometimes we say the creator took the knowledge and spread it around. Here we have a person who is truly practiced and wise. They may come off as rude or old fashioned, but it would be foolish not to listen to them. Everyone has a part to play in what's going on. Do not dismiss people. Help from unexpected quarters. Your community needs you to step up and do your part. If you see something wrong, no one else is going to fix it. So that's your Queen of Swords. And here is your 10, but it was in reverse. So I put it this way, the way it shows up on my thing. It was in reverse. That's how it was. In reverse. Mind this business. In reverse. In reverse, yeah. So my bad. Right side up. It's in reverse on my thing. Okay. In reverse. If I don't, one of these days I'm gonna get it together. I had to keep flipping it. It was in reverse the first time. Okay, so the 10 of Cups. So most people know what the 10 of Cups is about. That's joyous. That love. But we're gonna talk about it when it comes down to the Pataki. And when it comes down to the Pataki, in this card we find all the happiness we could want. There is tremendous potential. Anything might be possible, yet the 10 of Cups is somewhat treacherous, as its abundance of joy may be swiftly lost if handled without great care. When the citizens of heaven decided it is time to incarnate again, they asked permission to return. Then they see the Ajala, whose job is to craft the Ori, destiny, for those who will be born. Unfortunately, these destinies are sealed inside a gourd, so no one knows what they are choosing. If one is lucky, life will be wonderful. If not, it might be quite hard. For those who have cultivated a good relationship with the Legua, he may offer a nudge toward a more enjoyable Ori. After choosing the person, returns to the creator who breathes them into a body at birth. Life is always a mix of free will, destiny, and luck. Our attitude, resilience, and fortitude greatly affect our ability to find happiness and keep it. Life is full of possibilities, but like the sealed gourd of our destiny, it is also full of uncertainty. All right, y'all. So what you supposed to do? This person has a possibility for everything they want. Things are likely very good for them right now. When things are great, it is important to maintain whatever it is that got them there. Like having a good relationship with a Legua. How are they working to preserve that for the future is an important part of what they need to think about going forward. A time of great success, the rewards of past efforts, a change in levels, news that will be celebrated, the birth of a child, and possibly an ancestor returned. So solutions: make an offering to a Legua, plan long term, save for a rainy day, and expect the unexpected. All right, let's go to the 7 of Cups, because you got a 10 and a 7. Which is 17, which I'm learning breaks down to 8. Yeah, y'all, I'm learning some numerology out this week. I'm telling you. Spirituality and its necessity and the tools. Here we go. In the 7 of Cups, we run into the problems of perception and ambiguity. Things are rarely what they seem, and what we find when we choose our cup is rarely what we thought. It is a card of illusions and the emotional fallout that comes with realizing that we've been duped. In the Odu era soon, we encounter the proverb, the hole is dug. It is a simple saying with deep ramifications in negative situations. It is said to be the grave. It is said to be the grave, which raises the question of who dug this hole and is it our time to go in it? Often with this proverb, it is our actions that will determine the outcome. On the other hand, it is a message of potential. If we dig in the earth, it is possible we might find treasure. That treasure could be something natural from the earth itself, or perhaps what someone else has buried and hoped no one would find. If we are going to dig holes, the only thing that is clear is that we never really know what we might find. With this card, often we find both treasure and loss at the same time, leaving us to wonder if it was worth the cost. That's all I got. So, solutions: mind your own business, do not look in holes, plan for the unexpected, and do not believe what others are trying to sell you. Now, divining, I'm sorry, I skipped straight to the solution, right? Now, divining, when we see this card, we should talk about what the person is looking for or whether it is theirs to get. The person getting the reading motivations are likely a mystery to themselves. Even if you are able to know them, they might not thank you for telling them. Here, curiosity is unlikely to be rewarded with anything but a place in the bottom of the hole. Curiosity about others' business, mysteries with no solutions, promises of riches that turn into tears. There is something unknowable in the situation, and people's past might be darker than expected. Whew. So I be out here minding my own business. All right, let's see what the Page of Cups got to say. Let's see what the Page of Cups got to say. Because I'm telling you, we got the pads of keys. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, 7, 8 on the 13th. 8, okay? Page of Cups. In the Tarot de Marseille, it is customary for the cup of this card to be covered, usually with a cloth of some sort. The cup contains something for sure, but what exactly is a mystery since we cannot peek inside. In this card, we see the newly crowned priestly Iyawo, or at least what we are allowed to see of them. During the first year and 7 days, the new priest is required to live apart from the world. This person has no name other than Iyawo, must wear all white, should not go outside after dark, touch other people, have their picture taken, or look in mirrors. Iyawo is often translated as bride of the Orisha, highlighting the intensity of the union between the person who is initiated and the spirits they received. In reality, few people understand what it means to make this kind of commitment. It is a leap into the unknown, taking out the need or deep faith. In this way, the Iyawo peeks beneath the cloth on the cup by irrevocably stepping into the initiation room. So there you go. Solutions: keep your own counsel, take time to let changes set in, and live the faith you profess. Now, divining, the person who finds this card in this reading is entering a time where many things will be revealed. This is a blessing, but it may also feel like hardship. Once we look in the cup, we can no longer go back in seeing the world as we did. The coming time will remove naivety. Commitments are being asked of you. You can evolve if you are willing to do so, do what is required. Choices made will affect status down the road. Spirit is the best voice to listen for advice. That's what that says. Now, this 5 of Wands right here is what we got coming up next. Now, that's a new one. A lot of these I've read the story of before, but this one is a new one. I haven't read this one. Here we go. Haven't read this one. This one's a new one. 5 of Wands. This card is one of strife and conflict, specifically the kinds of conflicts where it is not clear why the fight began or who is in the right. The tendency is to step in the fray and push one's agenda, but that is rarely a wise move when this card speaks. Even if someone wins, there is likely to be no clarity or resolution. Elegua was frustrated with the people of a town who had stopped paying him respect. As in often the situation in times of ease, people neglect spirit. So Elegua painted half his body red and the other black and walked down the main street of town. The people on the left of him said, "Look at that strange red person. What's going on with that?" Their neighbors across the road shouted back, "Are you blind?" And the person was black all over. Arguments started, eventually escalated into physical conflict. Elegua watched from the edge of town and walked back the same way. This time, of course, people saw what their neighbors across the street had sworn they had saw. Instead of apologizing, their anger continued and they fought again. After watching a while, Elegua walked again to the center of town, singing happily, "Do you see the error of your ways? Do you see what comes when you do not give me the respect I deserve?" Hey, OG Cup Peaker. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, with this card, make an offering to Elegua. Do not argue. Do not make things personal. Mend your fences with your neighbors. Now, divining, Elegua's communication personified. When this card shows up, we need to be very careful not to lean into fights. We may not know the whole truth. Arguments that go nowhere, miscommunication leads to disasters, conflict with neighbors and colleagues. So, listen, this whole reading has been, you better have a conversation with the road opener real quick. Light him a candle, pour him some rum, get him a glass of cold water real quick. Because let me tell you, this got him all over it. That's all I got. So the night of this, I'm going to keep it rolling. The night of this, I keep trying to tell you, I'm minding my business. I'm going to take this advice. And mind my business, because I'm not telling you how to live your life. I am just going to tell you listen, I'm going to tell you what they told me. And apparently we needed to know. We all needed to know. So the night of this, a night's power comes from being present in the moment and working from there. They see what is going on and are instantly making minor adjustments to their actions and plans in order to ensure success. Their patience or hard work or wonder to behold. Sorry. The Omoania, or drummers, are an integral part of the Orisha traditions. Their skills are used to call Orisha to the earth through possession of their priests in the formal drumming are three differently sized bata drums that all play complex interlocking rhythms. Along with singers, the musicians work together to work the energy in the room to bring the spirits through, pushing the tempo here, inserting a break there, and changing the song to keep the process moving. The drummers, like the person in this reading, need to walk a balance of letting go and staying in control. If the drummer loses track of themselves and their surroundings, the rhythm will fail and the energy will be lost. If they are too controlled, everything will be too formal and stiff, and the music the energy asks for won't happen. I'm just saying. Just saying. So, solutions: do not lose control, do not drink liquor, attend to your fitness, listen to music to heal your soul. I got a sound bath on going, y'all. I'm just saying. So, in divining, this person walks the line between ordered growth and chaotic growth. If they get too focused on the end result or too lost in themselves, then their work will be spoiled. They require patient and somewhat zen attitude in order to continue their work properly. Whatever they are working on will be a success, but the timeline is measured in seasons, not days or weeks. Success in time, needing to roll with that is beyond your control and physically demanding times that require rest. So apparently, this message, absolutely people fought for that. They definitely fought over that. I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing it. Of course, they just fought over that. All right, so your overall message is the Two of Swords reverse. Two of Swords reverse. So let's get to it. Two of Swords reverse. Now I'm gonna show it to you right side up, but it came out reverse. So the Two of Swords is a card associated with balance, justice, and peace. In some decks, it shows a blindfolded figure holding two swords, connecting its meaning to the idea of Lady Justice. It can also be a card of making peace with things that are not ideal but not subject to change at this time. In the Orisha cosmology, are two ideas that show up to modify a reading: Iri, or the blessings, and a Sogobo, or negativity. These energies may come up from an Orisha, ancestor gossip, money, malevolent sorcery, or elsewhere. While Iri may come from many sources, it is understood to be a singular thing. Osagabo, on the other hand, may come from many sources such as sickness, death, loss, and so on. The elders speak of a war between the one Iri and the many Osogo. Yeah, y'all got the word. Everyone wants to live the blessings and are grateful to see them arrive. But unfortunately, they are harder to hold on to. Both our own incorrect actions and the many negative forces can cause a blessing to be lost. To work against this is important to exercise forethought, tend to our inner foundations, and making offerings to keep the negative forces at bay. So, look, what you supposed to do? Let's see why my pages is trying to stick together. So, solution: cast divinations often and make offerings to keep on track. Do not neglect your spirits or ancestors. Do not complain and save for a rainy day. We must expect obstacles in life and work to prepare for them. This includes knowing we cannot see everything coming. The worst mistake is to ascribe positive or negative agency to the world. When this card shows up, this world is itself amoral and without agenda. It is up to us to make life what we want and need it to be. If times are good, plan ahead for the obstacles. If life is hard, things will turn around if you face it head on. Everything is in motion. When times are great, it is easiest to be complacent and lose it all. So you're going to have to take your own process of deduction with all of that. This was a lot going on. But if you ask my personal opinion, which you didn't ask, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, it seems to me that where you felt like things may not be coming through from beginning to end, it's all about your faith. It's all about making sure you go ahead and thank your ancestors for the walk that you're on, for the things that you're losing. Because honestly, they get ready to give you something that's so much better. You getting ready to have so many things that are so much better. With all of these cards, it says nothing but you about to get better. The worst has showed up for you just a little bit. So wild shit happened. That's okay, but it's about to get better. And you already know how to solve it. That's honestly the greatest thing about it. Like having these two cards in reverse is knowing that shit goes wrong, but it didn't hurt you that bad because you already knew how to fix it. All of these cards in between are telling you that you already knew. You already know. You know where the holes are that are dug for the money. You know what it's like to be out here by yourself. You know what it's like to have a conversation with a motherfucker and not have to argue. Like, you know what this is about. So do yourself several favors. And remember, from beginning to end, you already knew that this was already taken care of. Everything is working in your favor and it's working for you. All things work in your favor and for you. So thank you so much for joining me on this Trauma Terror Thursday. I'm hoping that this week's messages are just that. You understand from beginning to end, it's in your favor and working for you. You already got the tools you need. All right, I'll be seeing you. Maybe.